so the last one cut off. This is part 2, finishing up on the hang stretches, which help my fingers, hands, forearms, tennis elbow, tendonitis, all of the stuff here, including my biceps and shoulders. Triceps are stretched by all this. It helps my back. As I mentioned, my shoulders, but my back, down my back, my spine, my hips. Seems to even get maybe a little into the sciatica. The hips, what I mean is it feels like it separates and lets them fall where they need to fall. But I just did a wide one for 30 seconds. I just did an interior one for 30 seconds, which is a little difficult, especially with the fat grips. That means you're really just kind of hanging on with your tips, not your tips, but your fingers in general, without the grip of your forearm, which is kind of good for your, anyway, it's good, it's all good. And then I do a stretch in a shoulder stretch like this, where I go in and I'm pulling at my shoulder, and I do this for 30 seconds, because 30 seconds is the optimal time, it seems, and works for me. So I do this, which also stretches my forearms and fingers and elbow, and it's basically go in and then get my shoulder further and further, and then I pull myself out to it. So I right myself, and then so that was the in-between stretches that I do. I'm also doing my knee stretches. I'll do one knee exercise, Kneehab exercise, and then I'll do my shoulders, one hang stretch or one lean in stretch. I used to use the outer bars to lean in as far as I can, pull myself back out, active stretching, functional stretching, all that stuff. But yeah, then I'll do a peak. So all these different angles, just this to this, and this to this, and this to this, have such a different feel. Different things pull and pop and kind of reset when you do these. For me, at least, I weigh a lot. I weigh 280 pounds, so my spine and back really are happy to get some time away from gravity, even at the expense of my hands and forearms. But you know what? I'm Popeyeing, and I'm all right with that. All right, so I did in the middle. I'm going to do the outside now, or the peak. And this one is right in between. Oh, and I can feel it right down my lats. Oh, down into my lower back. And it stretches my, it stretches my stomach muscles too. So there is a six-pack under there somewhere. It's a six-pack of donuts, I guess, as it is, but spined donuts. And then I lean forward, lean into this heavy bag a little bit, and I bow myself out like a reverse Superman. And boy, does this hit the fingers and the back and everything. But it feels good. Now, it's burning, which you think is maybe a bad thing, but it feels great after a while, and it actually shows that using them doesn't necessarily abuse them. Even if it seems like abuse, my body is still capable at 50 of regenerating and doing what it's supposed to. Maybe it isn't as fast or efficient. Maybe it hasn't the same purpose as it did when I was of more, young adult, teen, whatever the point, the mating time when your body is basically prepared to do all those things to survive, both current and future species, future offspring, etc. Whatever. So I'm using this stuff, and if we were in line with the primates, which is what I definitely align with, then our body is meant to do all these things that our cousins can still do, and we can still do. Obviously, gymnastics and other things prove that, but so use it or lose it, or maybe it's use it or lose it faster. If you use it, you lose it more slowly unless you abuse and break it. That's what I'm trying not to do. So I guess what I'm saying is this extra rehab, prehab, and kneehab in between playing tennis and walking around, playing badminton on uneven surfaces, you know, these things all work generally day to day with some pain management, you know, and minor injuries notwithstanding. It's something I can do more of and not less. So rest is not my prescription for getting stronger, better, faster, etc. Until rest is absolutely part of that. And it is daily, but I guess what I'm saying is you can mix the rest with everything else. You can rest and you can work your tail off, or at least put in the effort. So I'll do one more in the middle hang stretch, and these will turn, so it makes it difficult to be sure. Probably clean the lens. All right, here we go. 3. Now if my feet are touching and the things are rolling up atop. 6, 7, 9, 10. I'm trying to focus on the elongation of my spine from getting my fingers as far apart from my hips and my feet and all that as possible. And I'm losing it because I've done this one. And anyway, I'm just kind of keeping myself here, and I'm gonna pull myself up. Oh, and now these are on fire. But these are definitely on fire. But I tell you what, holding a tennis racket now is probably not as much trauma, or it's not as intense as that is in a different way. So, in other words, this seems to help protect my tennis elbow from stopping me from playing. In fact, I don't notice it in a way that debilitates me. I notice it's, okay, I'm feeling this, I better do some hang stretches now. And it works. So, strengthening can help you get past other things. Get past the itises, the arthritis and the tendinitis and all that stuff. At least that's the way it's working for me. All right. Peace.